Hey Doggo lovers! Welcome back to The Good Doggo, the channel dedicated to loving our furry friends. Do you ever wonder if your dog really loves you? Don't you wish you could say, "Lassie, I love you," and she Scooby-Doos back to you? "I love you too!" While unfortunately they can't speak with words, they can speak with their actions. And today, we're going to go over 5 proven ways your pup is saying "I love you" with their behavior. Before we continue, if you find this info valuable, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel. We want to put out the best doggo info on the web, and your likes go a long way in helping these videos be seen. All of these behaviors we'll discuss are puppy-proven science. We pulled them from Gregory Burns' book, How Dogs Love Us. Dr. Burns is a human neuroscientist with a passion for pups. With a mix of positive reinforcement and clicker training, Gregory was able to train his adopted pup, Callie, to sit as still as possible on an fMRI machine to observe her brain while he performed experiments. After successfully studying her, he went on to launch the Dog Project, which became a new frontier in formerly unknown territory, what goes on in a dog's brain. If you're wondering how he was able to do that humanely, check out his book, How Dogs Love Us. So what were his findings on love? Let's get into it. Where they sleep. Does your pup sleep near you at night even if it's on the hard floor? There are usually more comfortable places in the house where they can sleep. If their bed is in the living room, but they sleep on the floor in your room, they're saying, "I'm willing to sacrifice being comfortable to be around you." What a sweet pup. Post-meal cuddling. Dogs are primarily food motivated. Most of their day-to-day actions are centered around filling their bellies. If your pup chooses to cuddle with you after their #1 priority has been filled, this is a strong indicator that you're more than their personalized food dispenser. When they cuddle with you post-meal, they're basically saying, "After food, you're my #1 priority." What a compliment from your pup. Sleeping with your things. Dr. Burns discovered through many scent testing experiments that scents of their owners caused a different part of their brain to fire when sniffing it. The experiment went like this. They divided scents into 2 categories. Familiar, something that belonged to a family member, and unfamiliar, something they've never smelled before, and had Kelly sniff both items. Unfamiliar scents activated the pup's cerebellum, which is usually associated with movement. Familiar scents is where things got interesting. 2 parts of the brain were activated when smelling a familiar scent: the caudate and the inferior temporal lobe. The former is associated with positive emotion, and the latter is strongly associated with memory function. Here's the kicker: the familiar person wasn't present. This means your pup has a positive memory spot for you in their brain. So if you've ever wondered if your pup knows who you are and loves you, or if they would be happy with any family, the answer is they love you. Interestingly enough, the same brain patterns are observed when humans are shown pictures of people they love. So if your pup is sleeping with something of yours, it's not because they want to chew or play with it, it's because they want to think about you. We're in fact making lasting impressions on our pups and are appreciated. Calm reactions when you leave. It may seem like whining and crying when you leave is the real sign of love, but it's not. That's a sign of separation anxiety. They don't believe you'll come back, so they act out. What this really means is they don't trust you yet. A calm state when you leave shows they trust you and know you will return. Trust in you means they love you. Intensely staring into your eyes, with a slight wag. Have you ever felt like your pup was staring straight into your soul? For the longest time, dog trainers operated under the assumption that dogs act with a theory of behavior, which means dogs learn that certain behaviors lead to certain outcomes. Example, sit equals treat. As more and more evidence accumulates about pups, we've discovered that dogs actually have a theory of mind. This means dogs are actually trying to imagine what humans are thinking. They're trying to read you. As you spend more and more time with your pup, you may start to get the sense that the 2 of you are connected, that you can read each other's minds. At a super basic level, this is what your pup is trying to do through eye contact. When your pup stares at you, they're essentially saying, "I want to know what you want me to do," and vice versa. They may stare at you and try to communicate what they want. Furthermore, a study out of 2015 also found when a dog gazes softly at you, both humans and pups release oxytocin, which is a positive neurotransmitter. So when your pup stares softly into your eyes, what they're really trying to say is, "I love you." The soft eye stares are usually accompanied with a subtle tail wag too. Bonus tip, mirroring. This one is still up for debate, but I thought it was important to include it. In Dr. Burns' book, he states, while the role of mirror neurons is still up for debate, many researchers have suggested they're a basis of human empathy. They not only allow us to simulate actions of others from the inside, but they may allow us to feel what someone else feels too. Example, when someone smiles, we smile back. Even infants smile when adults smile. It's innate. Apart from monkeys, no animal has ever demonstrated cross-species mirror neuron activity. And yet, during Dr. Burns' experiments, His pup's motor cortices fired when he would move his hands. Even though his pup didn't have hands to mirror the action, her mirror neurons fired, hypothesizing the attempt to feel and perform the same action. He discovered that their brains translated human action into equivalent doggy action. That begs the question, if dogs had the ability to transform human actions into their own doggy equivalents, then maybe they could feel what we feel, or at least attempt to feel a dog version of it. So when you run excitedly and they run excitedly with you, that's a sign they're attempting to empathize with you. Some other examples of mirroring could be yawns, acting anxious when you're anxious, or being calm with you. This could be their way of practicing empathy and saying, I'm here, and feeling what you feel with you. What this study proves is that dogs in fact do have emotional intelligence. If they can be happy, they can also be lonely and sad. Have you noticed any of these signs with your pup? Let us know in the comments below. We'll be back soon with more info about your good doggos.